October 21st, 1942. 23:55 hours. Iron Bottom Sound, Solomon Islands. The sea is black and flat, broken only by the faint phosphorescence of a wake that should not exist. A wooden hull, 80 feet long, moves at reduced throttle. Engines deliberately throttled back to keep noise low and exhaust dark. The air smells of fuel oil, salt, and damp canvas. There is no moon. Cloud cover sits low and heavy, erasing the horizon. Visibility is measured in hundreds of yards, not miles. At this hour, in these waters, that is enough to kill men. I am watching Lieutenant Robert Lynch aboard PT-248 as he studies the dark water ahead. He is 26 years old, 14 night patrols, no confirmed kills. His record is not unusual. Most PT boat commanders in the Solomons have similar numbers. The numbers that matter are elsewhere. 6 boats lost in the last month, 17 sailors dead, more damaged, burned, or written off. The pattern has repeated itself too many times to ignore. Ahead, moving slowly from north to south, are Japanese landing barges. Datsu class, steel-plated, shallow draft. They ride high in the water, 5 feet at most. Each carries troops, ammunition, food, everything the Japanese army on Guadalcanal needs to survive another day. Each barge mounts a Type 92 heavy machine gun, 7.7 millimeter. It is not a powerful weapon, but at close range, it is sufficient to rake a wooden hull. Lynch has 4 Mark 8 torpedoes on his boat. Each weighs over a ton. Each carries nearly 500 pounds of explosive. Each is set to run at a minimum depth of 10 feet. The barges draw half that. This is the central fact of the night. Everything else follows from it. I note Lynch's posture. He is not animated. There is no bravado. He understands the geometry. If he fires torpedoes, they will pass cleanly under the barges and detonate harmlessly beyond. He also understands what will happen next. The barges will return fire. Tracers will find the PT boat's thin plywood hull. The engagement will end the way others have ended: withdrawal, damage, sometimes fire, sometimes dead men. By mid-October 1942, Motor Torpedo Boat Squadron 3 is close to exhaustion. Not physically, though. Fatigue is present, but tactically. They are encountering a problem for which their equipment was not designed. PT boats were built to attack ships, destroyers, transports, cruisers if conditions were favorable. They were not built to hunt shallow draft barges running coastwise at night. Torpedoes are precision weapons. Precision fails when the target sits above the weapon's running depth. The Japanese understand this. When American air attacks made high-speed destroyer runs the so-called Tokyo Express too costly, they adapted. Barges replaced ships. Slower, smaller, harder to detect. Immune in practice. 2 torpedoes. The Japanese army on Guadalcanal survives on those barges. I step back from the night and consider the broader setting. Guadalcanal, August through October 1942. Henderson Field sits 3 miles inland from Luna Point, captured in the initial American landings. It is the hinge on which the campaign turns. Whoever controls the airfield controls daylight. The Japanese never stop trying to destroy it. Bombing raids come almost daily. Mitsubishi G4M bombers Batisofin, escorted by Zeros. The Americans scramble whatever can fly. Some return damaged. Some do not return at all. The field becomes littered with wrecks, broken wings, twisted aircraft that will never fly again. The Airacobra is an odd machine. Even by 1942 standards, it is unconventional. The engine sits behind the pilot. The drive shaft runs beneath the cockpit. This arrangement frees the nose for a weapon, unlike any other in American fighters at the time. A 37mm automatic, cannon firing through the propeller hub. The cannon is the Oldsmobile M4. It fires 30-round magazines, high explosive, or armor-piercing ammunition, designed to destroy aircraft and light armor. It is not subtle. It is not gentle. It is effective. The aircraft are written off. The cannons are not. Lynch knows this. On the morning of October 20th, he walks Henderson Field at first light. He counts wrecked 23 by his tally. Engines seized, airframes broken, but the nose guns remain intact. No one has touched them. They are aircraft weapons. Naval doctrine has no place for them. Doctrine is irrelevant to Lynch. He is facing a problem that doctrine has failed to solve. He has approached Commander Alan Calvert, the squadron commander at Tulagi. There are no forms, no requests routed through Washington. Just a conversation between officers who understand what is at stake. Calvert authorizes the attempt. It is, in formal terms, unauthorized. In practical terms, it is necessary. It is not safe by peacetime standards. It is improvisation under pressure. Mechanics with cutting torches strip cannons from wrecked fighters. Aircraft armorers disconnect hydraulic recoil systems and feed mechanisms under the open sun. Bolt seas in tropical heat. Aviation, gasoline substitutes for penetrating oil. Time is measured in daylight remaining, not procedure. 3 cannons come free before dusk. 1 is damaged beyond use. 2 are serviceable. At Henderson Field's machine shop. Scrap steel from landing gear becomes raw material. A pedestal mount is sketched with a grease pencil. Welds are rough. Bearings are improvised. The generator, powering the welder, cuts out repeatedly as fuel is rationed. The work proceeds in intervals. Weighed. Weld again by nightfall. A mount exists. It is ugly, it wobbles. It might hold PT-48 is waiting. The installation is done by hand. A hand-cranked drill bites through plywood and oak for holes. 30 minutes per hole. The deck flexes under the weight of the cannon. No one knows how it will behave under recoil. There is no test firing, no calibration, no training beyond the most basic instruction. The crew loads 6 magazines, 180 rounds and stacks them beside the gun dot at 0200 hours on October 21st. The first aircraft automatic cannon mounted on a U.S. Navy patrol torpedo boat is in place. This is the weapon Lynch now carries as he closes on the barges. At 2355 hours, radar contacts appear. For targets, 8 knots. The spacing and speed match known barge formations. Lynch alters course. At 1,000 yards. The lead barge opens fire. Tracers arc across the water, falling short. The Japanese gunners have seen the PT boat, but they have misjudged the range. Lynch does not fire torpedoes. He closes. At 800 yards. Gunners mate second-class Herald. Mitchell squeezes the trigger on the 37mm cannon. The sound is immediate and overwhelming. A deep concussion rather than a sharp crack. The muzzle flash illuminates the bow in white light. The recoil drives the gun rearward. The deck flexes. The mount holds. Mitchell keeps the trigger depressed. The cannon cycles at roughly 2.5 rounds per second. 30 rounds leave the barrel in 12 seconds. The effect on the lead barge is decisive. High explosive shells strike at the waterline. Steel plate that shrugs off rifle fire splits open. An internal detonation ignites fuel. Flame erupts. Men jump into the water. The barge coasts forward, burning, then settles by the bow. 8 seconds pass. In combat, 8 seconds is a long time. The second barge turns hard to port. Lynch follows. At 600 yards, Mitchell fires again. This time, the barge does not burn. It explodes. Ammunition cooks off. The blast is visible for miles. The remaining barges scatter. 1 escapes north, 1 south. PT-48 pursues the southern target. The gun mount begins to bind from heat. Bearings score. Mitchell muscles the weapon into line. Japanese machine gun fire strikes the PT boat's bow. A round punches through plywood 18 inches from Mitchell's position. He does not stop firing. After 3 magazines, 90 rounds, the engagement ends. 2 barges destroyed, 1 disabled, no American casualties. Lynch radios Tulagi. The message is brief. The gun works by morning. Every PT boat commander in the squadron wants one. What follows is not a single event, but a process. Cannons are stripped faster. Mounts improve. Bronze bushings reduce friction. Ammunition supply becomes the limiting factor. Magazines are hand-loaded around the clock. 8 minutes per magazine. 40 per day if the loaders work 12-hour shifts. Combat data accumulates. Engagement after engagement confirms the same pattern. 2 to 3 magazines per barge. 40 to 50 hits to sink. Fewer PT boats damaged. Fewer sailors lost. The Japanese notice. Radio intercepts refer to demon boats with aircraft guns. Convoys change routes. Escorts are added. Destroyers appear. PT boats withdraw when heavy ships intervene. The cannon is not a universal solution. It is a solution to a specific problem, and it solves it completely. By November, Bureau of Ordnance in Washington receives a report detailing the modification. The report does not ask permission retroactively. It presents results. 14 barges destroyed in 8 patrols. 0 PT boats lost. The response is uncharacteristically fast. Standardized mounts are authorized. Production begins. Delivery will take months. In the meantime, the field solution spreads. New squadrons arriving in the Pacific encounter, a force already transformed. Cannons arrive from supply depots under creative requisition. Some are new, some are salvaged. All are mounted. By early 1943, the 37mm cannon is no longer an anomaly. It is expected. Tactics evolve around it. PT boats operate in pairs. One engages, one covers. Torpedoes are reserved for larger targets. The results are measurable. Barge traffic collapses. Japanese units report chronic shortages: food, ammunition, medical supplies. The cannon does not win the Guadalcanal campaign by itself, but it removes one of the enemy's few remaining advantages. By late 1943, a new cannon, the M9S, developed specifically for naval use. Heavier, longer barreled, higher velocity. Designed from the start for sustained fire at sea, it becomes standard equipment. By 1944, PT boats are no longer lightly armed torpedo craft. They are gunboats, heavily armed, aggressive, survivable. I note the irony. The transformation begins with an act that violates every peacetime rule of procurement and authorization: an illegal cannon cut from a wrecked aircraft, mounted without approval, tested only in combat. It works because it addresses reality rather than doctrine. Lieutenant Lynch survives the war. So do most of his crew. The mechanics and machinists who made the modification possible receive little recognition. Their work is absorbed into official design, their names largely forgotten. The cannon remains. Some are preserved on surviving PT boats, others vanish into storage and scrap. The lesson is not romantic. It is practical. War punishes rigidity. It rewards adaptation. In October 1942, the U.S. Navy faced a tactical problem it could not solve on paper. Sailors and mechanics solved it with what they had, where they were, under fire. That cannon saved lives. It shortened nights. It closed a supply route. It changed how small ships fought a larger war. I record it not as legend, but as fact. If you loved this story and want more history that shocks, inspires, and motivates, subscribe to Rising Warfare, like this video, and explore the incredible tales we uncover. More amazing content is coming, and trust me, you don't want to miss it.